All right. Well, this is episode 9, I believe. I'm currently
We'll
infuriated
call
and
it nine.
sweating due to internet issues. Oh, anyway, joining us this episode, you remember Steven.
Howdy.
And then today we also have the other Zach Lapinski.
Hello.
So they're gonna be calling me Rexy for today, and that's my gaming persona name, just so we don't get any confusion going on. But yeah, let's just get right off to it. The reason we wanted you guys on, Detroit Pistons, you two are quite more, how do I want to put this?
No, we can call them experts.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about their overall feelings, views, non-high blood pressure to the team, like myself and you. They're more at peace. They've been more at peace with this team the past few years. Me and Steven have gotten into it 100 million times. He's tried to tell me that this team's going in a good direction. I've not agreed in the slightest, but today we are going to discuss some of these things. And, well, why don't we start off with what happened last episode? Where Troy decided to basically just give us all the cap space possible, not really getting anything in turn for Jeremy Grant. When here's my views on it. There's been time to marinate, and I'm not going to say I'm at a 180, but I am feeling a lot better about that particular situation.
Oh, I mean, he literally had thousands and thousands of people reacting. Why the fuck did you do that? You got nothing. Into, hey, why don't you wait on, you motherfuckers? Look what I fucking did with it.
Right.
And that's how I look at it.
I heard a lot of different views about it too, including all of you guys. And I think it was for the better. I still think at some point, maybe last season or something, we could have gotten more out of it, because I do think Grant is worth more than just getting basically the cap space for. But that being said, we got rid of him. He was useless, and I'm happy about that.
Useless. I don't know about useless.
He was pretty fucking useless. Not Austin Meadows useless, but pretty useless.
Like I said earlier, bones of brittle and an immune system of a 4-year-old died. Not much we can do there.
But so how were your guys' initial reactions to the whole Jeremy Grant situation? Were you pleased? Was there any displeasure? How did you guys feel?
I was kind of, I don't know. I didn't know how to feel about it because, like, he's a pretty good scorer and he does a lot of good things for the team. But, like, at the end of the day, I feel like he was taking a lot of shots away from the younger guys. So I don't feel sad about him leaving, I guess, but he was still a pretty good player on the team.
Do you think we could have got more for him, or do you think what we got was pretty fair?
I mean, I feel like I could have used like another like role player or something with the pick or something, like, like a bench player at least. But because I was kind of confused when he made the trade, so I was like, I have no idea what he's doing, because it seemed kind of odd for Troy Weaver to do something like that. But after draft night, he clearly had a plan, so I was happy about that.
That's what me and Brendan were worried about. We were like, there's gotta be something else going on here. There has to be a plan. What did you think, Steve?
The initial trade with the Milwaukee pick, I was a little confused, but that being said, I wasn't expecting like much for Jeremy Grant, to be honest. Like, I know the number 7 pick was rumored for months, but I was thinking more so of like a mid to late first. So that's why I'm going to ask you, what more do you think we could have gotten for Jeremy Grant if we traded him a year back?
I think like, a year back?
Go ahead, Brendan.
I was going to say, kind of piggyback off what Zach said, is just like, I feel like we could have got a solid bench player in return. I'm not asking for like a star v star trade, but I feel player, a veteran kind of guy that, I mean, we just went out and got 2 of them, but I feel like that would have been well deserved along with the pick. But I mean, I kind of understand, like, there's not too much more you can kind of give back for a guy like that. I don't know. What do you think, Rex?
So, I mean, it was just my thing. Jeremy Grant is, again, injuries and stuff aside, he's the type of player that I'm not going to call him a superstar or anything on that, but he's on the verge of being like a star player, basically. And when you have a player like that in any sport, like it sucks when that type of player leaves the team and you get literally nothing back for them. We've seen that on too many of our teams. I'm not saying he's like a Max Scherzer kind of situation, but again, it hurts when a guy leaves and you get literally nothing. That's why I'm not even so much a fan of just, like getting bigger cap space. I want, at the end of the day, I still wanted something more for him. And what the Pistons need is those 3-and-D guys. I mean, we're one of the worst 3-point shooting teams in the entire league. But what happened recently, as you all saw, was we got Burks. So I think that will help, with the 3-ball. I mean, he's a really good 3-point shooter. But we need more than Burks. We need quite a few guys that can shoot the 3. But I'm still... I think the whole plan overall, I don't know if this is some master plan that Troy's had for a while, but I don't know. I'm pretty content at the moment right now, seeing as what we have added over the past few weeks. It wasn't like with a one-team trade with Grant. It had to do with multiple teams going on, and maybe this has been a plan. If it was, I mean, great. That's good to see. But we clearly still need more.
Well,
I was
Rexy,
going to say,
go ahead, Steve.
We essentially got that pick that we took Jalen Duren with, like with that Milwaukee pick. We essentially got Jalen Duren out of that. So, I mean, I think it was a pretty good haul for Jeremy Grant overall.
To get Duren, I mean, it was a finesse. I mean, honestly, what Troy's been doing over the past month is he's been finessing the shit out of everyone, and it's great to see, especially New York.
Who did they just sign? Jalen Brunson, aka Michael Jordan, to a
I guess
Supermax.
so.
I don't get
crazy.
it, man. Literally, the Knicks they have made. I don't. Never mind. I don't want to go into the Knicks. They're stupid. That's all I'll say. But
I was gonna say, like Rexy, like you said last episode, me and you were kind of on the same page of like, we were kind of fine if they didn't go off and get that big free agent signing, like, Dayton or Ayton, not Dayton, Ayton or Miles Bridges. We kind of thought, like, I mean, if you go after him, don't give him the max. But he kind of turned around.
I'll go finish your point.
I was saying he kind of turned around and he did kind of what I wanted him to do. And he said, you know what, I'm going to save that cap space for next year. I'm going to go out and get 2 guys that can come off the bench and make this team more watchable. And I'm going to hold off on the free agent until next year.
Right.
And,
that's
going
100%.
after Duren was smart. And then after he got Duren, everybody kind of knew probably not going to go after Ayton. And then the Miles Bridges talks came, and then he's like, no, I think I'm going to go get 2 veterans instead. I'm going to get more cap space next year when I can get him off my team.
And he's got 2 expiring contracts too if he wants to deal them. So I'm really happy about the fact that at the moment we don't have Ayton on our team. I mentioned it that it's fine to get him, but do not give that man a max contract. And Bridges too. I know Charlotte's pretty much going to be matching. Like they're going to hold on to Bridges, right? I think that's what I've heard.
I'd be surprised if they let him go.
Yeah. So I
agree.
Bridges as well. I mean, it's just not the type of player the Pistons need to be throwing a contract like that at. If anything, if we are going to give a guy like a supermax, it's got to be a great center. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Like Cade needs a great center for this team to do what it can potentially do. And DeAndre Ayton is not that guy. I know there's going to be center free agents coming up. So holding on and just not picking up a guy just because you have the money right now, I think that was the right move. I think we need to spend our wealth wisely, basically. But how do you guys feel about if we somehow do end up with Ayton, whether that's on a super max or not a shitty contract, or even Bridges, even though I'm really not likely with Bridges.
They would have to trade a lot of they have a lot of centers already to begin with. They have
This is
like
true.
Stewart,
Yeah.
Olenek, Duran. They signed Bagley. I'm pretty sure they're signing Bagley. So
And
Bagley.
Nerlens Noel.
Oh yeah, and we
Yeah.
just got Nerlens. So it's like, I don't think they're gonna go after DeAndre Ayton. If they did, they'd probably have to trade 3 of
Right.
those guys, and not
And I don't
sign
think that's
Bagley
gonna happen.
probably.
Well, I mean, coming like me and Rexy have been going back and forth, but like, what do you guys think? I mean, do you think DeAndre Ayton is worth a max contract?
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to get out of you two right now.
Yeah, I think he's worth it for sure. I just obviously that stuff in the whatever in the playoffs was kind of like weird with like him not playing the last like 20 minutes or something or whatever it was.
Mhm.
So like, yeah, besides like that, I think he's a really good player, and he's only what, like 23 years old, 22.
That is very
So,
true.
like,
That's the biggest
I
thing
would
with him. He's
agree.
so young still.
In a
We
few
basically
years
got a
when
mini.
this team
we
is
got a, yeah, go ahead.
well, like in a few years when this team's more developed and stuff, he'd be like a really good piece to have. So, but
That's true.
Yeah, I
Durant could be
agree.
a mini Ayton. You never know.
I'm interested to see how he turns out because he's got some game. He's only what, 18?
He's only
He was the
18.
Yeah.
youngest
He's
guy in the
like
draft.
youngest
Super
guy
young.
taken.
Yeah. So I'm really interested to see how his development comes along, especially on offense, because we all know about his defense. He's shot blocking machine, but
He's a
offensively,
beast, dude.
yeah, we'll see what happens with him.
Yeah, with Ayton, again, it just comes down to like this team is not a winning team, obviously, at the moment. I mean, we can get into where we think our team's gonna finish this season in a bit, but clearly we've got a ways to go. Again, a big part of that's the 3-point shooting. But I just think if you just throw all that money at a guy like Ayton, who's an unsure product at the moment, I think you're just jumping the gun. I think just wait it out. There's going to be a lot of good free agents coming up. This offseason for free agents in general is just not that great, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot of role players this offseason.
yeah,
Yeah.
But that being said, for next offseason, we might not even use the money for free agency. We might use it in more trades, more deals.
Yeah,
That's what
too.
that flexibility gives us.
Maybe the
So
master
if-
plans get Kawhi. Like
If people
that's
are-
what I want.
If you're worried about attracting free agents to Detroit, you can still get those big names through trade. And we have all the assets to do it now. So it's like, I think we're in a pretty solid position going forward because we're going to have even more cap next summer, I believe, than we were projected to this offseason with that Burks and Noel deal.
Yeah.
I think
mean,
that's the most important.
I think it's like I said, my views overall, I'm feeling more content at the moment. I think Troy has really done a good job over the past month. And now we just got to see things translate on the court. I mean, our team is still absurdly young, which isn't the best thing. So we got to really, really find what and who this core is going to be. We got to pick this core, and then we got to add, the final pieces to fill in cracks and get this team, to the playoffs. But that being said, about playoffs, not that that's going to happen, but where do you all see the Pistons finishing this season? I mean, the past 2 seasons is, 2 years ago, everybody expected us to be, big mega dog doo-doo, but this past season, I feel like more people thought that we were going to finish not a lot better, but not horrendous because we had Cade. But what are you guys thinking for this season? Brendan, you can.
I'll go
start
first
this one
because it's
off.
going to be very, very quick. I think we have the potential for a play-in game, but in reality, I think we're going to finish 1 spot out. So I think it's play-in game or 1 spot out.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
Okay. Steven?
I think we'll get at least 30 wins this year. And like Brennan said, probably if we were to make the play in, it'd be the 10th seed.
So you're saying, because remember the East I feel like is kind of a little more in charge now. What seed do you, if you had to pick a seed number, you're saying 10?
No, I would say like Brennan said, 11. But if we
Oh,
did make the play, if we did make the
Gotcha.
play in, I don't think it'd be further than
Right. I
10.
Gotcha.
Like it would take some amazing jumps from our young guys to do that.
Right. What about you, Zach?
Yeah, I'm around like the same page, like 30, 35 wins. Like what did they win 23 last year or something? And they're only getting
Yeah.
better. So I think 30 to 35 wins is like where they should be, I guess. Just keep getting better every year. So,
I mean,
and yeah, maybe a chance at a play in, maybe, but
I could live with 35 wins. It's like
I mean, that can make
Cade's
it in the
second
East.
year.
The East isn't that great.
It's true.
Yeah,
I mean,
the big thing I actually am gonna agree. I think we have a chance at the play-in this season. If you would have asked me 2 weeks ago where I thought we'd finish, I would say, oh, we'd be likely picking number 1 or 2 again. But I really think that this team, yeah, again, super young, but I think we're developing some talent. And I think being in the East, we're going to get exposed a lot down low because there's a lot of good bigs in the East. And again, that 3-point shooting teams are, if we can't have a 3-point shooting team in today's league, like we're not going to hang with anyone. But I think not only are the guys, again, talented, you know, you brought up 30, 35 wins. You'd like to see it. Just the fact of finally having multiple pieces that are just attractive play styles, guys that are just, you know, play fun basketball, it makes me more inclined to want to watch games. You know what I mean? Like, yeah,
And go.
Cade is
yeah,
a big name for last season, but I still was like one guy. I mean, it's not like it's LeBron. It's, you know, it's the rest of the team is just not something fun that I want to watch in general. But we
Did he
now
pay?
have we now have multiple guys that really make me like want to tune in, especially Durant. I think there's something intriguing about him, especially him being 18. Like there's, of course, he could be a bust. He could suck ass, but I mean the way he's
That's the
built,
draft.
the way
Yeah.
he's
He
built,
bodied the third overall pick or second overall pick.
like that is a grown man, in what 18-year-old we said.
yep.
That right there, just the physicality. It's exciting.
Mhm.
This team, I mean, I think it's pretty safe to say clearly there's what this team looks like right now isn't what it's going to look like in a few years, players wise. But again, we gotta find that core, and hopefully we have a core to stick with for the next few years.
I think we do. I think we have 3 guys that can easily be a core. I think Cade for sure. I would definitely throw Saddiq Bey in that category because how he played last year was phenomenal. Basically, because of the fact that people thought he was going to kind of be like a role player, but he stepped up and he played amazing last year. I think we can build around him. And then, I mean, obviously he's super young, but I mean, Jaden Ivey's going to be fun to watch, man. And they did the comparison, the draft, like, you know, Kendrick Perkins, he's kind of a buffoon. But anyway, he was doing the comparisons. He compared him to Ja Morant. And I'm like, I watched it at first. I'm like, that's a pretty big comparison. And then I was like watching more and more. I watched some highlights. I'm like, you know what? It's actually not like terribly far off. I think Ja Morant is extremely, you know, he's way more athletic than Jaden Ivey. I mean, but Jaden Ivey's pretty damn athletic for being, what, 19, 20 years old?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
he's a freak, and the Pistons need to get more athletic in general. That's another thing. So that's
Right.
that's good to see. But what playing aspects, offensively, defensively, do you guys think needs to happen this season to get to that play-in spot?
Probably consistency, probably.
Yeah,
Like I feel
definitely.
like they're very inconsistent. Like, oh, was it like the second half of like after the All-Star break, they played way better than they did like before then. So I thought they played more competitive, I guess. So just try to be in games more, I guess. Like,
Yeah,
don't let those like whatever lose by like 30 or whatever. Like that's
right.
just embarrassing. So like
That didn't happen much though last season. They were all relatively close.
I thought like the first half of the season, I might just be misremembering. When they first started the season, they were not playing well at all. I thought they played better after the All-Star break.
Yeah, too. And then what was it? Last year, I remember it was either the first half or the second half we just imploded. It was either the first half we would kind of get in front, and then just second half we didn't show up, or was it the other way around? I can't remember.
I think we went through both throughout the season.
Yeah, it was kind of like a flip-flop.
Yeah. It was like we would go through a stretch where we would show up in the first half and then kind of implode in the second half, and then vice versa.
Yeah.
So it was consistency is definitely going to be a big thing with this team. And also just not playing so much we don't play a lot of hero ball, but I feel like there's not a lot of effective plays being ran. Like it seems kind of stagnant at times, the offense.
Yeah, that's why people didn't like Jeremy Grant, because he thought he just kind of did his own thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't fit well with the team at all. I mean, the team didn't really have pieces in general to really run that many great design plays, especially offensively down low. I mean, we have jack shit, but
yeah.
I mean, Isaiah Stewart threw some punches. That's about it.
It's cool to see. It was fun to see him go after LeBron, but at the end of the day, you got to put the ball in the basket too, my guy. We need
how many in reality, how many players do you think have gone at LeBron in his career? I can only think of Isaiah Stewart.
You mean like a madman, like how he did, or just in general?
I mean, like like a madman, like literally wanted to physically hurt him.
Well,
2011 Chicago Bulls.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
That whole entire team.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like there's a lot of guys in general that get really pissed at a guy like LeBron, but they're not going to. We haven't really ever seen anybody in a game go at him like Stu did. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Absurd. I don't think there's anybody else. That's just that image of him running, getting held back, running down the court,
just trucking everyone, coaches.
Oh my god,
bodies flying everywhere. Yeah,
like
that was fun.
Top 5 moment last year in all of the NBA, not even just with the Pistons. That was hilarious.
Might have to look that up later now. It's been a while.
I mean, what about what's his face? I feel like if there's anybody ever, he never physically did anything, but what was what's his face that probably nobody that hates LeBron more than this man? What the hell? I'm having a brain fart. He shoots like this. He's a big man. You know what I'm talking about?
Joakim Noah?
Joakim Noah. Joakim Noah hates LeBron.
Chicago
He hates him with a fiery passion. So does Trevor Ariza, I've heard too. But yeah,
I mean, there's definitely people that hate LeBron. I get that.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, you can hate LeBron and then you can just be Isaiah Stewart and literally want to murder him on the court.
But that's the thing too, is I doubt Stewart hates LeBron. I think just in that moment he just snapped I don't know why. He just snapped.
I mean, he did. It was like it wasn't like he overreacted. Like, no, LeBron was being an asshole. He did what
he overreacted a little bit, but
he for sure overreacted.
There's
no doubt he overreacted. I mean, he's throwing assistant coaches into the 6th row. There's
the initial reaction, I think, was warranted.
You just did too much. He did way too much.
Yeah, but I'm saying I don't think he hates him. I think it was just like maybe he was just having a bad day and that was just the triggering thing. But I don't think he's like Joakim Noah or Trevor Ariza where there's an ongoing thing there. But yeah, I mean,
one question that I had for all 3 of you, because I don't think I brought this up ever with you, Rex, but I need an explanation, and this is not me to be like, I'm genuinely curious. Like, what do you think the game plan is with Dwayne Casey? Because I feel like he's here as a placeholder now, but at the same time, do you try to, I don't know, I feel like you have to make a decision at some point with how poor he's been in Detroit, but I understand, through developmental stuff with new guys coming in, you want to stick a coach around a little bit longer. But I mean, like, what's your guys' opinion on, like, do you think he's the guy for a couple more years? Do you think he's a placeholder? Do you think he should go? Because I'm like curious with you. I feel like he doesn't get talked about at all, but it's also a thing that you need to kind of point out.
Yeah, I don't know. I never really particularly liked him, I guess, but like I heard he's really good at developing like younger players, so I feel like that's why he's the coach for now, I guess. But yeah, I mean, he hasn't really done any that much in his career besides with like Toronto and stuff, but he couldn't get them over the hump, so that kind of scares me a little.
The hump
So
being one guy, LeBron James.
basically, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of a wait and see, I guess. But like, I'm not like the biggest fan of Dwayne Gracie.
Go
He
ahead, Steve.
fun fact, he was on that Dallas Mavericks staff that beat the Miami Heat, and he was actually responsible for that defensive scheme that evidently slowed down LeBron and Wade and Bosh and all those
Hmm.
guys.
The JJ
Um,
Barea, Jason Terry special, that defensive
yeah.
scheme.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I don't know if he's going to be our head coach when we're really competing. I think he's a good coach for right now to, like you said, develop these young guys because he seems like a player's coach and seems like players really like him. And
I feel like
You
guys
want-
really
Yeah.
like him.
you want someone like that at the head, but I think maybe at a certain point, I could see him still in the front office with us. Like he might not be coaching
mind
us
that.
in the future, but I could still see him behind the scenes, still around the team.
Yeah,
I like that.
I partly that, yeah, like how you guys were saying, players coach. I think that's a huge thing in sports in general. Is if the players like the coach, I think that's such a huge factor. Even if the team's success isn't, showing up in the record, if they're loving their coach, it's like the Lions with Campbell. I mean, everybody loves him. Clearly, nothing good has happened yet, but if you ask probably damn near every player in that locker room, they're going to like that guy. So I think that's such a huge thing, and I'm sure that is the case with Casey, no pun intended. But at the end of the day, it's like once this team, because the team that he's had to deal with has been a shit team, so it's not all his
Yeah.
fault.
Yeah,
It's once this team really does have, develop players that there's no excuse. If he's still the coach and it's not translating, he's got to go. Like it doesn't matter at that point if the players like him. Like it's at the end of the day, you got to do well at your job.
yeah. I
For the
think
time being,
that's
right?
when-
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think that's when that conversation gets brought
Yeah,
up. Is when we reach
it doesn't
that
need to
point.
happen right now. Yeah,
Yeah.
We're so young,
Yeah, I
we're so
agree.
inexperienced. I'm not worried about the coach. I'm worried about who we get on this team right now. I think that's what matters.
Now for our next coach, which of the 5 2004 Pistons would you want to be our head coach? I want everybody to go and say their number one.
Antonio
Chauncey Billups.
Mendez.
Oh, I got one.
Chauncey Billups.
I'll go Lindsey Hunter
Yeah, I was thinking Lindsay too.
because I know he coached with the Bulls for a sec, but yeah,
a
let's
good
go
pick.
Lindsey.
Give me Rasheed Wallace. I want to see
I
the
was gonna-
coach fight other people.
Let him get teed up every game.
Let's see if he can just continue his record.
His number one
Most-
motto in practice is "Ball don't lie." Just-
Most teased by a coach in a
Ever.
single season.
He'll put that record too. Yeah, my God, I love Sheed.
That'd be so much fun though, honestly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
it
to have
That'd be
somebody like
great.
that.
He's
doesn't-
he's at Memphis now. For
Isn't he on
college,
the-
right? He's
I thought he
I
was-
think so.
I thought he went to the
Rasheed?
Lakers.
Like
Or is he
recently?
in-
Yeah, with
Yeah.
Darvin Ham.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Oh, that was
I
recent.
think-
Okay,
Yeah, I think
Uh-huh.
last season he was with Memphis, and yeah, you're right. He did.
I
Just,
don't blame him. Memphis is a
he just
shit
signed with the
show.
Lakers.
Let's talk about
crazy, man.
Emoni Bates, man. What the hell? That guy went backwards.
I mean, on one hand, you've all have heard me complain about how I hate when guys go to the draft too early. And, this guy, he could have been one of those guys that just puts his name in there just because his name is clearly not ready. It's very strange how he's picked Eastern. I mean, not strange, but clearly he's better than Eastern, but maybe he's just fed up with the backlash and all that, and he just wants to be at home right now and just feeling comfortable. I
Which
can't
is
blame him for
fair.
that. I can't blame him for that at
Maybe.
all.
You just could have stuck with your guns and went to MSU to begin with.
Yeah,
like
you're
you were
such an
supposed
idiot,
to.
man.
Well, let's be honest. If he's not translating well at Memphis, do you think he's going to play well under Izzo?
Yes.
You think so?
I think he would have played better under Izzo than Penny Hardaway.
I mean, under a developmental standpoint, yes.
Mhm.
But maybe it's the mentality or something that he's.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean,
Wants
Zach,
to be the
Zach,
star.
you're a Michigan State guy. Was there like any known reason why he switched commitment?
I have no idea.
Because for years it was like Michigan
Yeah, it's
State were like, we got the number one guy, and then he's like, I'm going to Memphis. And everyone's
Again,
like, "Wait,
maybe he
why?"
doesn't. Maybe he wouldn't do well under basically just what Izzo is. I mean, that's not Izzo isn't a superstar ISO type of coach. He's
true.
a team ball coach, and
Yeah.
Emoni clearly is a guy that's going to be an ISO player. So
Yeah, and then he
Weird.
went. I mean, he went to Memphis, and like Jalen Duren was the star. Like he wasn't even the number one guy.
I just don't
And
think
that- I
Memphis
think
is a
got hit.
well-coached team at all.
Yeah, he got hurt for a little bit, but still, I mean, it's crazy. I might have to go to an Eastern game now. I don't know.
It's not
Never
far.
thought I'd ever say that.
It's not far. But
No.
to go back to the Pistons, I don't know who all is going to be a free agent or just options in general for next season. Well, after not this upcoming season, but the next following season. Who, if anybody, would you guys like to see on this team that you think would mesh well? Whether we have to trade to get him, free agent, what type of position do you want to see? Position player do you want to see on our team? And who would mesh really well with Detroit? Steve, let's hear it.
I've been calling for this guy for years now. I think Marcus Smart would be wonderful in a Pistons jersey.
That'd be nice.
But yeah, I don't see Boston parting ways anytime soon. But yeah, I would love to have a guy like that. There's just something about him that speaks Detroit basketball.
Oh, well, the
I
rough
agree.
and rowdy. And I mean, it's for
That
any team that has like a legitimate fiery perimeter defender, it seems like that type of team is always at least in the playoffs. Any
Yeah.
team that's got one of those. So
He's like a true 3-and-D guy.
he's
Yeah.
a playoff player, no doubt. He just that type of fire, actually wanting to go out to the perimeter and defend the shit out of guys. There's not very many in the league. So that'd be a great pick for the Pistons.
That's a great pick.
But
I'm gonna go with Giannis. I think he'd be a perfect fit. We need a center.
Yeah, all I can think about is it's like star players. Like I can, like it's hard to think of those like smaller role player guys. It's like, oh yeah, I'll just take LeBron. Like,
Yeah, give me
like why
KD.
Here,
Yeah,
I have some of
Durant and
the
Duren.
I have some of the free agents for next offseason if you want to hear.
Oh,
like
let's
Oh,
Do you
yeah.
want the big names or the
that's
lower
perfect.
names?
well, isn't
I know of like
Can
one.
I just start off in saying, isn't Jokic going to be a free agent? Yeah. So
but
here's the
damn.
thing. But
Jeez.
here's the thing. Do we know anything about Jokic, like loving Denver? Anything of that regard?
I mean, I can make
No
up a
idea,
rumor if you
dude.
want me to.
Right. I think having money in an aspect and showing a team that's heading in the right direction is at least attractive. At the end of the day, it's still Detroit. Nobody wants to play here, probably unless like another guy's already here. So if Cade goes crazy this season and Jokic sees, hey, the floor general is doing amazing, so I'm not going to have to be a 7-foot floor general all the time. I don't think it would happen. I'm just saying, like, if the Pistons could legitimately pursue freaking Jokic,
That'd be
I mean,
insane.
Of course.
arguably the
Yeah, that'd
second
be
best player
awesome.
in the team. I mean, that's and again, I feel like we need a center. Yes, we need 3-and-D guys. That's multiple things, but a star player, we need a star center with Cade. I'm very set on that.
And like I think it's like perfectly comparable to the Aaron Judge talks. He's going to be a free agent next year after the season he's having this year. Jokic just had MVP seat. Blank check. Just give him a blank check because he's worth that much.
Yeah.
You just give him a blank check. Whatever he writes on it, come to Detroit. Here's $1 billion. I don't care.
In what world would we sign a good hitter? anyways, back to the Pistons.
That's a different discussion.
We don't need to get super depressed. But Steve, who else is going to be a free agent?
All right. Do you want to know like the other big names?
Yeah, do the big names first.
Okay, so I'll do unrestricted first. So
Right.
you got LeBron, Harden, Kyrie, Jokic, we already mentioned, Westbrook. I'm gonna put Wiggins in this category just because he just won a championship.
Yeah, he deserves it, man.
Then restricted free agency: Zion, Ja, RJ Barrett, Darius Garland, Tyler Hero, Jordan Poole. But I don't see any of those guys leaving their teams.
No. Plus, we should have already had
No.
Poole. But yeah, I mean,
Isaiah Livers.
Yeah.
Rivers.
He delivers.
Dude, I think he can actually have a very good year. I think he can come off the bench and have like a solid 10, 15 a night.
Yep.
I think
He's
he
gotta
can play
stay healthy.
defense too.
Yeah, if he's
Gotta
healthy,
stay
man,
healthy.
because he showed that he could shoot last year, and he
Yeah.
showed that he was engaged on defense. Like, yeah, he made mistakes, but he was a rookie. All rookies make mistakes. So as long as he's engaged and looking to get better on that end, he should be a really nice role player for us.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But some of the lower names you got like D'Angelo Russell, Al Horford, Zach, your favorite, Steven Adams, Dylan Brooks, Jay Crowder, Seth Curry, Pat Connaughton, DeAndre Hunter, Rui Hachimura, Cam Reddish, Cameron Johnson, Matisse Thybulle, and Keldon Johnson. Those are kind of like the key names.
So
of that.
basically,
know-
next year's free agency is going to be 100 times better than this year's. Got it.
Oh, yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
And I know, Steve, I know you're a big book fan, so you followed the Suns a little bit more than me, but I actually do really like Cam Johnson.
Me too.
I think he's
Me
a very good spot up shooter. Which
I
we
would
could
agree.
use.
I hope
He's
Livers
lengthy.
turns into that kind of player.
Exactly. That's kind of what my plan would be. Yeah, or Isaiah Stewart just starts shooting threes. That would be cool too.
Well, he's
They want
probably
him
getting
to
that
shoot
green light.
threes.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's probably getting that green light coming into this season. So we'll see what happens.
What other Pistons questions could we ask Zach Rexy?
Hold on. I got one for you guys. You two. So Zach or Rexy.
Hold
my
on. It
bad.
sounds like somebody's playing the trumpet outside my house.
But I know you mentioned like you like what Troy Weaver's done the past couple weeks or so, right?
Right. After what he's done, after the Grant news came out, like after that shit, what he did draft and these moves he's done, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of what he's done.
So
recently.
besides that, through his what is it, 2 years now, 2.5 years he's been here. What have you disliked? What do you think
Killian Hayes.
he's
That was
okay?
quick.
Yeah.
What about Killian Hayes?
Killian Hayes is dog shit. What do you mean? What about Killian Hayes? We picked
Well,
him with a
never.
lottery pick, and it's just infuriating because he's virtually useless. It's this thing that I've gone over 100,000 times where if you have Cade Cunningham, Killian Hayes is not gonna develop. He's the way that they both play. It's Cade's gonna take too much away from Killian, and it's nothing against Cade. Cade needs to do the best that he can do. But Killian is clearly not a good scorer. He's not, and I don't see that him developing to that type of player. You know, defense, cool. It's nice to see, but having a guy like Ivy next to Cade instead of Killian, I really like that a lot better because clearly Ivy's going to be here to score the ball. Killian had really good flashes, especially before he was in the league, of being a distributor. He's got pretty good vision. So when he's not having the ball in his hands and he's got to all of a sudden try to be a shooter, and he's just either he's not there yet or he just isn't ever going to be there. But regardless, that's not happening with the Pistons. There was a number 7 pick that was absolutely wasted, and we need to basically move him before he's incredibly useless. While he's still young and people think he still has potential, because he does still have potential. I just don't think really with the Pistons. So I want to see him moved and bring something else in.
So you don't want him leading that second unit at all?
No.
So you rather have Corey Joseph?
when our team when our team is pretty established, I want a vet leading the second unit, a legitimate vet. You need vets on the team. I mean, we've been over
No
this.
Marcus Smart.
I mean,
That'd be great.
I want the ghost of Kobe Bryant, but you know, you can't have shit.
For me,
Nobody asked you, Brendan.
Oh, I did.
you don't want my
Rexy.
opinion anyway.
What?
I said you don't want my opinion.
What is it? What is it?
I think Killian Hayes is going to be the next MVP of the Detroit. No, I'm just kidding. I don't think he's as bad as a pick as you make him out to be. I think he's a little bit better than that. I think he can turn into a 3-and-D guy. He already plays great defense. If he can shoot better, I think he'll be fine. He'll be a good rotation piece. He's not a starting point guard, but at the same time, I mean, I think he can come off the bench. But my biggest Troy Weaver dislike, and it's really my only one. I mean, but I can see both sides of it. I was a big fan of Christian Wood, and I kind of wanted to keep him around. I think he would have turned into the center we needed. So in my opinion, I think, I don't remember exactly what we got for him or what he was asking for contract wise, but that was a guy that, unlike Jeremy Grant, when we got rid of him, I was pretty upset. I thought he was a really good guy, to play down in the paint, got a shit ton of boards, could score, could shoot a little bit mid-range, but he's kind of the piece we're still looking for. And, you gave him back however, like a couple years ago, and you kind of could have had that and built, so that's the only dislike that comes to my mind. Luke Kennard, greatest shooter of our generation, gave him up for nothing. I could bring that part up too. I'm just kidding.
What did we trade for? I forgot.
I don't remember the exact deal, but I
Luke
know
Kennard?
I think one of the picks was Stu or Sadiq, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's what
Yeah,
it
it was a
ended up
pick.
being.
I know that. Yeah.
Same thing with Bruce Brown, I believe.
Yeah.
I could be wrong though.
I love Bruce Brown.
Me too. I really like Bruce Brown. That'd be my one gripe if I had to pick one. But it's not really, I'm not tripping about it too much.
I definitely agree with Christian Wood. I mean, again, I don't know how much money he was wanting and all that, and it'd be nice.
Wasn't that much.
It'd be nice to have him because he's a winning style player, and he is a piece that we need. Honestly, he's a big guy that can score from anywhere.
Didn't he just go to Dallas?
Yeah, Dallas.
Yeah.
He's going to be really well. He's going to work really well in Dallas.
He wanted to sign with a winner, though. I think that was like.
It was probably I mean, they probably.
But he went to
that.
Houston, and then they immediately sucked. So I was kind of.
That's true.
Funny.
Yeah.
Because like John Wall got injured and stuff, so it's like a shit show.
What, Steve?
We chose Jeremy Grant over Christian Wood. I know a lot of people thought it was Mason Plumlee, but the way the salaries were, if I'm not mistaken, it was Jeremy Grant instead of Christian Wood.
Yeah, which I mean, that in general isn't really a bad move because I mean Grant was playing his ass off in Denver, right? So like,
yeah, he almost made an All-Star team this first year.
Yeah. So you can't get mad at that. It's at the end of the day, it's just those are two guys, Wood and Grant, that basically we didn't get anybody back for directly. But again, we talked about how it has worked for the past few weeks. So again, I'm not as mad as I was. But yeah, overall, I think Troy's got a plan. My views on him have definitely turned more positive than I was, say, a few months ago, because I was pretty pissed. I thought this team was.
I don't think there's a Pistons fan out there that doesn't like the trade or the draft. Like,
the draft was great.
Yeah,
Detroit won the draft overall.
Right. And like that's one of those situations where you get to the 5th pick, and being a Detroit sports fan for the past 10 years, you're like, our guys there, they're gonna fuck it up. Our guys there, they're just gonna fuck it up. And they didn't. They got the guy that they were supposed to get. And so I don't know if it's just common sense or Troy Weaver's a genius, but I mean
we've done well
year
the
in
past
Detroit
three drafts.
Say that again.
We've done well the past 3 drafts.
I agree. Zach
Yeah.
wouldn't agree.
I'm not. No.
I would.
Oh,
Which
which Zach?
Zach?
Yeah.
Mahalik with the
Oh, okay.
whole,
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna say.
Killian.
My thing is, I'm not gonna say that. I'm just gonna say, I don't think. I'm not okay. How do I word this? This draft, I think, a lot of credit goes towards Troy. Again, not really for Ivy because it was the clear and obvious pick, and that's the same thing as last year with Cade. Like, it was by far the popular number 1 pick. So you can't give him too much credit for that. But the moves that he made this draft, especially getting Duran, I mean, it's the dude pulled some strings and he finessed some people, and it helps when Sacramento's run by a bunch of fucking clowns. So, and they're making bad moves.
You hear about Tobias Harris? The rumor?
No.
It's rumored that he's gaining interest from the Kings, which is weird considering they just drafted Keegan Murray. But
Now, what made them
the
pick
Kings.
Keegan Murray over Ivy? Was he a better fit for them? I mean, kind of. Well,
I feel like
they got guards, so it's like, yeah.
Well, they had Halliburton, who was really good, but they traded him because, like,
yeah,
I don't think
they wanted
Fox liked playing with him.
Sabonis.
Yeah, I don't know why. It was kind of a weird trade, in my
Sacramento's
opinion.
just a dumpster fire.
But yeah, Sacramento's a really poorly ran organization.
We're lucky here in Detroit. Yeah, I don't want to say the word
Said
lucky.
nobody ever.
Yeah. We still have Alvila.
Yeah.
Now it's literally, it's like people keep saying it, but it's so true. It's like we have 4 GMs now, and 3 of them are geniuses, and then there's one little puppy dog in the back that doesn't know what he's doing.
It's fucking
he's just like
wants
the
to play.
doofus of the group. Yeah, he's like the friend of the group that just all the other 3 hang out with each other, and they never invite the 4th guy unless he just shows up at your door someday.
Now
That's the only reason he's.
I asked you this last episode, and we made this little list. My feelings have changed.
Oh,
okay,
100%.
it's been a couple weeks. We wanted to record this, days ago, but scheduling
Detroit
conflictions.
Tigers, you're number 4.
Where do you guys rate our teams as to who is going to be a successful team, like, quicker, meaning like you expect them to go to the playoffs? Because the way I have it right now, I had it the Red Wings, the Tigers, the Lions, and the Pistons in that order. Now I have it the Red Wings, the Pistons, the Lions, and the Tigers. Where do you guys
I'd probably
have it?
switch the. I feel like the Lions are number 2. Honestly,
Yeah, that's why I made that grunting noise. It's tough because the Lions they look like they're really going to finally do something, but
because they have an easy schedule this year, so I feel like
Yeah.
they could do something. But yeah, I would say whatever. Red Wings, Lions, Pistons, Tigers. But the Tigers are way lower than everyone else.
yeah,
It's like
There's
the 3,
whoever's
and then
up-
there's a huge drop.
yeah. There's like 900 feet of shit, and then there's the Tigers at the bottom. So, Steve, who would you put? I mean, I know you don't watch baseball that much. You can put the Tigers at number 4. We'll say that's the correct answer. But 1 through 3,
I haven't really watched the Wings too much, but I hear they're on the up and up. That being said, my number 1.
so you're going with the Pistons.
Yes, I'm gonna say.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna say Pistons. I'm gonna say Wings, and I'm gonna say Lions because I trust the Wings more than I do the Lions.
That's probably going to be your answer again. I was going to ask, what makes you put the Pistons, take the Wings out of it, what makes you put the Pistons above the Lions, if there's anything besides just it being the Lions being untrustworthy?
We have Cade Cunningham. That kid's going to be a star.
Okay, that's a good reason.
Yeah,
I like that reason.
Fair.
He's going to be a star.
I like that reason.
Over under. Wait, hold on. I got to rephrase this. Hold on. Over under 1.5 NBA MVPs Cade Cunningham?
Like what?
Under.
So do you think he's going to have one or less, or do you think he's?
You're just talking about. Oh, you're just talking
MVP.
about
Cade in his career. How many MVPs does he? You think he gets
Luka's
going to
be around for like 15 years, so I'm saying under.
Yeah, I'm going to say under. And it's not from his play. I don't think a guy playing for the Detroit Pistons can win back-to-back MVPs. I think it's going to be a very tough thing to do.
A guy for the
have to win
Nuggets
back-to-back.
won back-to-back MVPs. I will say that.
That is true.
It's a
I just
weird
feel like
thing,
if
but
it came down to it, I just feel like we would get gypped ultimately.
Probably.
Is that how you feel about the Rookie of the Year situation?
We don't need to.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, do you honestly, legitimately think that he got screwed out of that?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I watched every single rookie that year, and I promise you, he was the clear. I don't want to say clear because Mobley had a great season, and I think Mobley, if anyone should have won it over Cade, it should have been Mobley. I don't think Barnes.
That's exactly what I thought. If like it's one thing if Mobley wins the award over Cade, but Scotty Barnes coming out of right field, that just made no sense.
Well, it wasn't out of right field. It's the way that they're starting. They didn't even used to treat the award like this. They're treating it now with that stupid shit that they do. This is kind of ironic. I bring this up because they didn't do it this year with the regular MVP. But a lot of times with the regular MVP, Brendan, me and you had a short conversation on this before. This is one of my main things as to why I think the MVP is a joke of a title, is a lot of it has to do with team success. Like if a team is doing really well, they're going to give the best player on that team the trophy. And you're going to say, well, yeah, that's good reasoning. Best player on the best team. It's really not, because when you straight up just look at it as simple as it should be, it's like it should go to like the best player in the league. Honestly, I think at the end of the day, it should just go to the best guy. How Steve Nash wins 2 over Kobe. Fucking tell me how that makes sense, especially since the fact that Kobe carried the shit out of that Lakers team. You want to talk about most valuable? The Suns are still fine without Nash. This is 100 years ago. I'm ranting at this point. Anywho.
Now that begs the question, because it's kind of opposite of what you just said this year. I feel like Joel Embiid was on the better team, was a bigger role player.
That's why I said it's ironic. Yeah, that's like I said. It's ironic that Jokic won it because they did give it to the guy that was, putting up the best numbers overall. But it's basically, all that aside, my point is they're just doing that now for the rookie. Like, okay, Cade, was on the Pistons. The Pistons are dog shit and the Raptors are not. But I think most people think Cade's a better player than Barnes. I think I think the Mobley one is, because Mobley plays both sides so great. And he's already one of the better rim. He's already one of the better rim protectors in the whole league. So that one I wouldn't even be mad about, like, at all in general, if Mobley would have won it. But Barnes, it's just like he's not better than Cade or Mobley. I think that's pretty clear. But that's awards.
But he's not.
Awards are stupid.
Yeah, they are stupid. Hopefully, it just puts a chip on his back to win that MVP next year.
Next year.
Could you imagine a sophomore Cade Cunningham MVP? He just magically,
that'd be awesome.
He averages like 30 a game.
If Cade won MVP next year, all of the shit that I've said, I would have to eat so much shit. Because for those of you who don't know, I guess I might as well bring this up a little bit. All 3 of you, I already know, disagree with my opinion on this matter.
100%. I know what you're going to say.
You know what I'm going to say.
Boils my blood.
I really think, and this doesn't make me mad at Troy, but this, at the end of the day, this, like, it hurts a little because I wanted the Pistons to get Jalen Green. I know it's not the popular opinion. I know Cade was clearly the popular opinion. And Cade is going to be a great player. I am not mad in any aspect that we have Cade. I'm really happy we have Cade. He's going to be a multiple-time All-Star. He has the potential to be like a finals MVP type of player. So why would you be mad at that? My thing whether you guys see it or you don't, and I don't think any of you do, there is something about Jalen Green that just screams to me that he's just literally perfect for the type of league that we have today. That dude is going to be one of the greatest scorers of all time, and not in the aspect of James Harden, where it's just all fraud, not that type of scoring. I'm talking about legitimate, unbelievable shooting, showing skill, flying, altering his body through the air. It's one of my favorite things to watch, a guy that plays like that. And that was one of the main reasons I wanted him on the team.
Not at the dunk contest. He wasn't flying.
But I mean, I'm not mad, like, at all. I want to watch Jalen Green play is basically what it comes down to. And again, I think he's going to be one of the greatest scorers of all time when it's all said and done.
That's a
bold.
bold take.
When it comes down to it, you can say whatever you want about any rookie and what kind of things they did this season. Like, you can say how Cade had a stat where it was only him and MJ that did something for their rookie seasons. I can't remember what it was. I think it had to do with just like points and shit.
Too.
But Jalen had this run at the end of the season where he was really doing crazy efficient scoring that like no rookies have done besides like Michael. It's like the same thing. He's done shit that no rookie's done. So to like laugh at basically his potential, why would a guy that has been doing things that no rookie has done except elite motherfuckers like MJ, how are you going to laugh at the fact that that guy, I think he does have the potential to be one of the greatest scorers when it's him and another guy doing that? It's like the same thing with Cade and MJ.
I don't know. I think he's a very good player. Absolutely. I think he's more than what's the word I'm looking for? He is like the true number 2 pick. Like, he's the second best player in that draft. I agree. But one of the best scorers, maybe I might have to see like another year or two.
Shit, you got to see more. This is just a big, bold prediction from me. You can't make like any, like, there's no reason to like be perfectly okay with somebody making a hot take like that after one season, especially when he was injured a lot of it. Yeah. And that goes for any of these guys. Cade was injured a lot too.
Yeah.
But like, I think the Pistons are perfectly fine with Cade. The way Cade plays, he's a point forward. I love point forwards. We don't have too many of them, and they're usually pretty successful. I think at some point in time, we will have a championship contending team, and Cade will be at the helm of the ship. And then, but at the end of the day, I think Jalen has the potential to be a better player. That's just how I see it. Defense has to come a long way, but overall, he's got some work to do. But he's a freak athlete, which really helps with defense. But anyways,
oh yeah,
what were you saying, Steve?
I think Jalen has the tools to be an elite scorer, one of the greatest of all time. That's to be seen, but he definitely has the tools and the ability to do it. I'm more curious to see how he's going to be when he can't rely on his athleticism as much. That's what I'm curious about, because we've seen, like, Kobe Bryant, for instance, when his athleticism started to go, he started to become more skilled in the post and doing other things.
Right.
So that's what's going to be interesting to see with his career going forward.
Right. And it's what's good to see about Jalen is he's not like a guy like I'd be more worried about, this is a fucking wild thing to say, I'd be more worried about a guy like Ja Morant when his athleticism goes, because Ja is more of a super attack the basket at all costs type of player, flying over guys.
Like a Russell Westbrook.
He's only like 6'1", maybe 6'2", Ja. But what we've seen from Jalen this season is he can shoot from anywhere. He's got crazy handles. He can spot up. He can shoot, catching the ball. I mean, he does have a post game, and he's 19 years old, 20 years old. He is going to be he's got the skills. I'm not worried about skills at all. Yeah, athleticism, that's going to come down to anybody at some point. Mm-hmm. But with him, it's going to be work ethic. Mm-hmm. I'm sure he's got that from what I've heard.
Once he's able to get consistent with his scoring and doing it night in and night out, then it might get real scary for the rest of the league, because he's he's really good.
Yeah, he's got all the assets to be a crazy scorer. But now, to change things up, how do we feel about what Oklahoma City has done with their 900 prospects and they're crazy young but talented? What's going to be what they're starting? They got 3 or 4 guys that. Who is it? It's Chet.
Shea.
Yeah, Shea.
And then Australian guy.
What the fuck is his name?
Giddey.
Josh Giddey.
Giddey, yeah. And then they have all of these pieces.
The big 3.
Like, I feel like what Troy has done for the Pistons. Hey, what did you say his name was, Steve? The GM of OKC?
Sam Presti?
Yeah, I think what Troy has done, he has done on a like intergalactic scale, where Troy now has all these. Troy has a lot of like hold on teams where he's the one that calls the shots. It's kind of like in the draft where everybody was hitting him up saying, "Okay, what do you want for Ivy?" It's kind of like that. I feel like for OKC, they have that times a billion because of all of their potential draft picks and, first of all, their young core that they're going to have in general. I just think it's going to be a really fun team to watch.
KD's going to go back.
Yeah. I don't like Chet at all, though. You gotta be honest. I don't like Chet at all.
Good.
What's the issue with Chet?
Honestly, just because he's white and skinny. Like, there's nothing this like. I just. How many white skinny guys are good in the NBA besides like
Dirk Nowitzki?
I was about to say Dirk after he put on weight. Come on.
Yeah.
I'm just not like a fan of. I don't know. I'm just not a fan of his
Mason
game.
Plumlee. I could go on.
Oh man,
you're just not Mason Plumlee.
I never wanted him in the draft. I was like, I hope the Pistons don't get him. I didn't want him at all.
I do feel. I understand the under. I don't want to say undersized because the dude's like 7'15", but
he's got to put on some muscle.
He's like, dude, I'm the skinniest guy in the world, and I might weigh more than Chet Holmgren. Like, he is a twig, and I'm not saying like his 7-foot frame is gonna be like, is not gonna do well and dominate. I want. Whenever OKC plays the Bucks, I want to watch the entire game. I want to watch Giannis versus Chet, and I want to see what happens because Jalen Duran dominated Chet in the tournament last year. Giannis is a little bit bigger and better than Jalen Duran.
A little? He said, in my opinion.
But continue your point, Zach, because I had to jump in there. I agree.
No, I mean. Yeah, I just don't like Chet. I just never liked Chet. So we'll see how that works for OKC.
Now, does it come down to a
an
personality thing
I think they picked the right guy, though. That's who they needed, for
Does
sure.
it come down to a personality thing, too? Like, is that what you don't like about him? Or is it literally just you're not convinced on skinny white dudes in the NBA?
Basically. And he went to Gonzaga. I'm not like there's not that many good players from Gonzaga. Besides, yeah, I can't really think of any. Besides,
Shout
like Kelly Olynyk.
Adam Morrison.
Yeah, Adam Morrison.
Adam Morrison cried at half court.
Okay. Here's what I'll say. Another hot take. Go figure. No, not really a hot take. Well,
Chet's
yes,
going to be the best big man in the league ever.
There's 1 to 3 guys from this draft that I think legitimately can be great players. And if I really am only picking one, I feel like it's me and like 10% of people that think that Chet was the clear-cut number 1 pick for this draft. What I've seen this guy, like his skill set, and this isn't just at Gonzaga, this goes back to when he was in high school. When you are built like a flagpole, not in the sense of being 45 pounds soaking wet, but when you are that tall, that lanky, and you can have the ball on a string, you can shoot from anywhere. Throw in the fact that he is a very, very good shot blocker. People said things about his defense and stuff. He's not going to be out in the perimeter in the NBA, everyone. He is going to be parked right under the basket on defense, and he is 9 feet tall. The thing with Chet is, I mean, I've talked with Steven about this. I'm pretty sure I've talked with Brendan about this. I'm not saying he's Kevin Durant, okay? we've obviously heard the
Slim Reaper.
We've obviously heard the comparisons just because, skinny 7-footer with ball handles. Okay. But it comes down to the fact that
Pause. Is Kevin Durant 7 foot? I actually truly didn't know that.
Kevin Durant is
anymore, man.
probably like a quarter of an inch under 7 feet. He's around 7 feet tall.
I knew he was tall.
7'6" wingspan.
I didn't know if he was 7
Oh, he's
feet.
tall as shit.
That's
when you
crazy.
see him, he's like, when he was like next to DeAndre Jordan and DeMarcus Cousins and shit, he was like an inch taller than both of them. So
Didn't mean to cut you off. I was like
You're good.
genuinely curious about that.
But what I'm saying here is, yes, there's the comparisons of the ball handling, the shiftiness, the shooting that you can put with KD. Sure. Did he play like KD in college? No. I'll get to that in a second. But the thing is, especially in today's league, you don't need to be cock diesel out there. You can be built like a decaying twig out on the pavement. It doesn't matter. You do not need to be a strong athlete. You're going to say, oh, yeah, you do. These guys are behemoths. Okay. When you are 7 feet tall, there's different types of strength. Okay. There's like training and gym strength. And then there's literally strength that just comes from having very large bones. Okay. When you are just that much mass, you're going to be fine. Kevin Durant couldn't bench 180 pounds when he was going into the league. And everyone's like, oh, this guy's so skinny. It's not a reliable thing. Kevin Durant clearly turned out fine. Also, Chet's 19 years old? He will gain weight naturally by, guess what? Aging. That's what happens. He will be perfectly fine on that aspect. What I am so attracted to is the way that he plays. There is like barely anybody on the planet that can play at that size the way that he does. And a big thing was when he was with Gonzaga, and this is what I was talking about. Did he play like Kevin did when Kevin was when he was at Texas? No. When Kevin was at Texas isn't ever known for having anything good of a basketball program recruiting wise, right? When Kevin went there, it was the Kevin show.
I mean, they're pretty decent, I think.
But are the Texas Longhorns in the success category of Gonzaga? Fuck no.
Well, Gonzaga plays in a shitty ass conference, but yeah,
it's true. But regardless, Gonzaga's always in the tournament. They're always towards the end of the tournament. Texas,
I get what you mean.
Never is. What Gonzaga is about is team basketball. They're not about go out there ISO. It's kind of what we were talking about with Emoni. That's not what they're about. So Chet's not going to be playing the way he did in high school, the way he would played in college, basically. Whereas if Chet was on a different school, a fuck you school, I'm here to get my one and done and go to the league, he easily could have averaged mid-20s for college, no doubt, the way that he is. But he was playing on a team-oriented style of basketball, and the team did really well. They didn't win the tournament, but he did what he was asked to do. And that shows a lot to me in the fact that this dude wants to win. He's not all just about, I'm going to go here and get some fucking points and make money. He doesn't give a shit about that. He went into a program where he wanted to win. Not go to Michigan. Pissed about that.
Yeah, we got Hunter Dickinson.
Yes, we do. I'm not mad about that at all. But yeah, Chet's going to be the best player in this draft. I'm very confident in that.
I think it'll be just fine.
Okay, Zach talks for 9 hours, and then
No, but I don't think
I
oh, my bad.
No, you're good. You can go.
I don't think it's a big concern of putting on weight as it is for gaining strength, because you can be strong and not weigh a lot. You know what I mean?
What I said.
Yeah. So, and then defensive wise, he's going to be hunted, but I think as the years go on, he's going to figure that out and he's going to adapt to it because he has that ability. He's very coachable, like you said. So I think he'll be just fine.
He's going to be great.
I think he'll be a good player, but I'm still penciling Milwaukee versus OKC.
I do agree with that. I think that would be quite comedic. I do want to see that.
Yeah.
Because
I think it'll be good.
Go ahead.
I think it'll be good defensively, but like,
so
I don't think he was worth
you think he's going to be good defensively, but not offensively?
I just don't think he's going to be scoring like 25 points a game, 10 rebounds, 3 blocks. Like, I don't think that's going to happen.
Okay.
I feel like it could just be like one of those, I don't know. I guess I don't want to say like Nerlens Noel because Nerlens Noel is kind of like a,
Ooh.
Now a Piston.
but like I don't know. I'm just not confident in his game. I don't know why. Although granted,
fair.
I haven't watched him play that much in college. We'll just see how it works out, but not a fan.
I still think, I mean, I would still take Detroit Pistons playoff chances more than OKC, even with those three guys that they have now.
Yep.
I think we have a better foundation, better solid team. So I'll take it.
We don't necessarily have any guarantees, but in this context, we have more guarantees than OKC does, I
Correct.
believe.
I think we do have one. I think we all can agree we have one, maybe. Are we not
What?
calling Cade a guarantee?
Oh, he's a guarantee.
No, Cade's a guarantee. I
Right.
would go as far to say Sadiq's a guarantee as well.
Yeah.
But I think
Yeah.
top to bottom, as far as players goes, I think we're more ready to compete than OKC, I believe.
I would agree.
Yeah, I agree with that.
They have a plethora of draft picks, though. I mean, we have a good
They're
amount
gonna
too
keep
now,
going.
but
That's the
Yeah.
thing. I mean, Detroit in a sense can do this as well, but OKC in the span of a week can go from, a pretty dog shit team to pretty good odds of making it a couple rounds in the playoffs just because they can get stars with picks. They have that attraction. Plus, I mean, I'm not gonna say anybody really wants to play in Oklahoma City, but I feel
it's a
like
fun
the
fan
average.
base.
I feel like the average guy would probably pick OKC over Detroit in that aspect too, in my opinion.
Maybe it's because I'm
they're
from
about the
Detroit.
same. Yeah. Never been to OKC, so
That's true.
For some
You either
reason,
get-
there's some Riley fans. They got really, really supportive fans. I mean, I guess when all you have around is just farmland and nothing else to do.
Well, that's the only professional sports team they have, right?
Yeah.
yeah. Besides like
Right?
college
Would we-
football and stuff.
You got any more questions for him, Rex? I'm out. I'm stumped.
No, again, when we were in the last episode talking about getting them on here, I was like a fiery star about to explode full of rage. But I'm not really at that point anymore. I'm like more I agree with you guys on most senses with the Pistons right now.
I think we're in a good spot.
Happy to hear that.
Definitely.
Yeah, I am too, because like I said, I want to fucking watch this team. I want to watch basketball in general, which is the biggest thing. Changes need to come at that aspect, but to have, like I said, to have names that make me more inclined to turn the TV on, it's nice to happen because it's been a long time.
Did you hear the recent trade news?
With who?
Atlanta.
With Murray?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they got Murray, right?
Yeah. What do you think about that?
Well, yeah, we were talking about that last night. I like it. I feel like it's kind of how I was saying with Killian and Cade, where I think Cade is just the way his play style is next to Killian. It's going to take away from Killian a little bit. I think that's kind of the same with Trey and Murray offensively, because Murray needs to be a floor general, but that's not really going to be the case with Trey out there. But Murray's still such a great player. He's going to contribute. The Hawks only get better from this, and they definitely need the perimeter defense. So having Murray in that aspect is like fantastic. But I like Murray a lot, so I'd prefer to see him in a different situation where we can see him put up better numbers, I guess. But at the end of the day, he's got a better chance to win with the Hawks than he did in San Antonio. So
I was telling Steve before you got on, though, I do think I thought Murray was like a perfect fit for the Spurs. I really liked him on that Spurs team.
Yeah.
It stinks they couldn't really build around him. They didn't really have a lot of options. I think Sohan's going to be good out of the draft, but I mean, I really did think he's kind of like a Popovich guy, a player, in my opinion. So
what the
It is what
Spurs
it
need to do is they need to get, it's kind of like the Pistons. The Spurs need to get a star big man.
yeah,
That's what they need.
Yama.
I don't know. I heard about this guy coming out in the draft next year, Tim Duncan.
Oh,
He
yeah.
could be he could be a pretty big
Damn.
star. He might even play in the Spurs his entire career. I don't know.
It'd be interesting.
Beat the Pistons.
Yeah, that was sad.
Yeah, that was sad. What I can remember.
Yeah.
Thank God I wasn't like into it like I am now. I feel like I'd been like heartbroken
Man.
when that would happen.
I still
I
was
couldn't
heartbroken. I remember that. I remember that night so vividly.
Oh, I do too. I just remember everyone was
man.
so sad.
All I remember is my mom. Mom, shout out you if you're watching. She didn't let me stay up for the last game. She made me go to bed.
Oh,
And I
pain.
woke up the next morning and asked her what happened. She said the Spurs won.
Yeah.
Well, I
That's all I
guess maybe that was a
Absolute
little less
pain.
painful, in a
Yeah,
sense.
but
Fucking
I don't
Manu
know if-
Ginobili, you son of a
yeah.
bitch.
I would say Robert Ory. That
Yeah.
Rory,
Oh,
Manu,
dude.
Tony
or
Parker,
Rashid
Tim
being
Duncan.
an idiot. Just leaving him wide open.
Good times.
Anyways,
Yeah, at least there's competitive.
I'm trying to be more positive here with the Pistons. This is not helping.
Pistons, yeah, draft A+. That's
Yay.
my grade.
I would honestly, the Pistons draft, I'm gonna give it a solid A. I think we won the draft. I don't think I'd change anything. Very good.
Wouldn't change a thing.
Okay, so the Stanley Cup. Steven, I guess you're just the audience here. I mean, go ahead, say whatever you want at any moment, chime in. I know for me and Brendan, we're pretty happy because fuck Tampa Bay. Now, I know Brendan's a Red Wings fan, and if you're a legitimate Red Wings fan, I feel like you shouldn't really be happy about Colorado winning just because of the history.
Better than Tampa, though.
But yeah, just Tampa's just fucking annoying. Again, I've said it
But
100 times.
The thing I want to say, I think we both can agree. You know, I know you're a big Leafs fan.
Am
You might
I?
have your own opinion.
What gave you that
But
impression?
I do think Colorado was by far the best team in the NHL this year.
After seeing how everything played out, knowing what I know about each team, I think you put Colorado up against any team in the playoffs, you do multiple rounds with Tampa Bay. There's not a team that's winning the series as often as Colorado this season.
No.
They have pretty much everything.
And in saying that, if you throw out game 2 where Tampa Bay lost 7-0, right? If you throw out game 2, that was one of the most fun series I've ever watched. That was like the highest of a high intensity hockey that I've ever watched.
Those crowds are pumped
game
too.
1 was pretty good. The last 2 games, 5 and 6, were phenomenal. 5 went to overtime. 6, they scored in the last 3-4 minutes to win the cup. Watching the last 2 games, it was truly, in my eyes, like I said, I'm not, not the biggest hockey guy. Zach, you know more than me, but at the same time, those last 2 games, if I'm going off those 2 games alone, Colorado and Tampa Bay, those were the 2 best teams in the NHL playing against each other. And I think that's why those last 2 games were so much fun to watch. Because they were flying on the ice. Colorado is so fast. Tampa Bay is so fast. Their goalies are both good. It was just fucking fun to watch.
And the series, which let's also say, this is the second championship series that you've predicted correctly in a row.
Yeah, that's
Let's see how long you can keep this streak going, because you got Warriors in 6 and you got Colorado in 6.
I'm taking I'm taking a Tigers, Pistons, Lions 2023 future champion. So let's see if
Okay, so back to reality. It's like we said with Tampa, where what made it so great too is, Tampa got blown out one game, but I mean, they came right back. Tampa just doesn't go away. Colorado can be up, and you're watching that game, and you're just waiting, just like, oh my God. Like, we were texting during game 6, and I'm like, I am sweating right now just because Colorado was up. It's crazy. And then Kadri, thank God he could play, game-winning goal.
Yeah. Did you see the picture on Twitter that he put out there today?
Today?
He put out, actually, I don't know if he put it out. Someone put it out for him, but it was It was like a post that he made, and it was an X-ray, a picture of the X-ray of his foot, and it's what he played on the entire series.
That wasn't Kadri's foot. That was
Or
what the
not
hell's
Kadri.
his name? I saw. Yeah, what the hell's his name? His foot was
liked
literally in like multiple pieces.
It was mangled.
He got carted out after the game. Like,
Yes.
hockey players are tough sons of bitches. I think he got his foot stomped on by an elephant or something. No, I don't even know how he injured that. Here, I'll send you the picture right now, Steve.
No, I saw it. It was
I don't think Steve saw it though.
Steve.
Yeah,
It is.
I think that's what I'm talking about. I think
It's
you're
not
right.
Kadri, because Kadri had the thumb injury. He had surgery literally like right after who the hell were they playing? Colorado before the finals. I'm having a brain fart. Fucking Edmonton.
Yeah.
He broke he tore something in his thumb or some shit, and he had a surgery, and he was able. I don't remember if he played like the first or second game, but Stephen Kadri is a ex-Leaf, which makes me sad. All right, here's the X-ray. I sent it on Twitter. Look at this man's foot.
It's not one for the weak, that's for sure.
Look at the fucking X-rays.
Oh my goodness.
Or MRI, I don't know what that is. His bone is literally just cleanly sliced.
Bro.
And he played on that.
Yep.
Hockey players are tough sons of bitches, man.
Dude,
I was listening to 97.1, I think yesterday, and they were going over like all of the injuries these guys had. I don't know if it was just the finals alone or like the semifinals with the finals, but so many guys had like crazy fucking injuries, not little tiny injuries.
And then when you compare it to the NBA, what some of these guys, how much time they miss for what injuries they have, which some of them are, terrible injuries. I mean, I'll never knock that. But, some guys are sitting an extra 2-3 weeks when a hockey player is like broken foot. Yeah, I can play all 7.
There's just a sort of physical and mental conditioning that comes with the fact of when you basically are playing physical like football.
Yes.
Like you play more than one game a week.
Exactly.
You play multiple games a week. You become something different.
Right.
It's crazy. But anyways, it's a great series. Overall, the NHL playoffs this year, along with the regular season, best hockey I've ever seen in my life.
I watched a lot of playoffs. I enjoyed it, and it's nice to watch. I don't mean that. I don't mean it's nice. It's cool to watch the NHL playoffs without having a dog in the fight and still enjoy it. Yes, would I love the Red Wings to be there? So would my girlfriend in the next room. That's all she wants. But at the same time, for me to watch almost, at least a game out of every series, and I enjoyed it. And that makes me even more excited for, if the Red Wings can make a playoff push in the next couple of years, hopefully.
And again, hopefully they do, and against the Maple Leafs, so I can go to some games.
Yes. I think it would be amazing if we could go to a Red Wings and Leafs playoff game wearing opposite jerseys.
That would be the environment would be great. It'd be so much fun, because just going to their regular season games when it's the Leafs and the Red Wings, it's already nuts.
Yes,
they are rival teams. As neither of them has been good when the other one's been good as of late, but their stories go back quite some ways, and there's tension there. But Steven, are you a Pittsburgh fan or are you a Red Wings fan? If you had to pick one,
I'm going Wings.
Going Wings.
I know you know me from a certain point in my life where
I was curious. I didn't know.
That's because family from Pittsburgh, but. Right. Yeah, I definitely Wings.
Okay, well,
shout out Darren Helm, by the way.
Shout out Darren Helm.
Yep, that was my guy back when I used to watch the Wings. It's good to see him win.
Second cup.
Oh, speaking of, who is it? Was it Perry that has now been on three teams in a row that lost a cup?
Yep.
Yeah, he's annoying as fuck, so that's good to see.
There's also a guy in the Abs. It's been 3 years in a row he's won the cup.
Christ. Must be nice. Yeah, so Steve, I recommend you start watching the Wings next season because Yzerman's got that team. They're going to be in a very, very good spot.
That's what I'm
Very,
hearing.
very good spot.
I caught a handful of NHL games, kind of just, passing through and whatnot.
Yeah.
They're pretty competitive,
Hockey
especially the
is-
Avalanche, man.
They're
Playoff
such a
hockey
crazy
is
team,
fun.
man. They're so fast, like Brendan said. And it's,
I feel
huh?
like every game I quickly glanced at, they were up like 4-0 or something like that.
They're
Like
so
every
good.
time I looked at the TV, it was like, how?
And this is the way that hockey is nowadays too, is it's like the offensive talent is so fucking wild. Like goal numbers are starting to go back up. It's just a really good time for people that aren't into hockey. I highly recommend you get into hockey. I'm not even saying be a Wings fan. I'm just saying get into hockey.
Be a Wings fan.
Be a Maple Leaf fan. No, you'll be miserable.
Nah, nah, I ain't happening.
It's such a great product right now. But yeah, I think that'll wrap it up. We're getting pretty late. So
Yeah. Especially with the internet troubles with Zach down
smooth
below.
now, so thank God.
Yeah. So
I'm
but,
assuming this has been recording.
don't forget to follow us at Motor City Chirps, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, where we post some clips from the show. Like, subscribe. Let us know if you want to be on the show next. Maybe we'll have you. You never know.
Yeah, comment,
But
share
huge
with your
shout out to our
buddies.
guests today, Steve, Zach. Thank you so much.
Yep, thank you
Zach
guys.
below, thank you.
Appreciate y'all.
Thank you for being a guest. Guy in the white hat below me. Thank you so much for bringing us into the light of why we should be positive about the Pistons, because I haven't been in there since probably 2004. So thank you.
This is the time to, if you haven't watched, now is the time.
Oh, I've been
Absolutely.
watching.
I have not.
That's the thing. That's the thing. I have been. Yeah. So, but no, thank you again, taking time out of your day to come on. And yeah, anything else to wrap up, Rexy boy?
Nope. Again, just like, subscribe, and share this shit.
Everybody have a good holiday weekend. Be
Oh
safe.
yeah. Yeah.
Don't blow up yourself with fireworks.
Take
That's all
care.
yeah. There you go.